And welcome back, and it is the Further Maths 5 a day for the 21st of Feb. Let's have a look at the first question. And it wants you to expand and simplify a surd. So really this is just expanding two brackets and taking it carefully. So let's start. I'm going to multiply everything here by everything on this side, everything here by everything on this side. So let's do that out loud. So 2 times 10 is going to give me 20. 2 times minus root 7 is going to give me minus 2 root 7. 3 root 7 times 10, so multiply the numbers on the outside, so that's going to be 30 root 7. And there's always a slightly tricky one at the end, so 3, or it's minus 3, and then root 7 times root 7 is 7, which is going to give me 7. Let's try and neaten this up. So I've got 20 minus 21. 30 root 7 minus 2 root 7s is just 28 lots of root 7. And then I can bring all this together, which is going to give me, well, I can write it either way around. You tend to put the number first, so minus 1 plus 28 root 7. But that's absolutely not a rule. 28 root 7 minus 1 is obviously absolutely fine. First question done. Next question. Okay, so here we have a quadratic inequality. Again, this could be a GCSE question, but the thing that makes this slightly trickier is that negative there. To me, the easiest way around this is just multiply everything by minus 1. So that's going to give you x squared minus 3x minus 10 is less than 0. Of course, 0, not 10. Just to state the obvious point, I flipped the sign here of the inequality because I've multiplied everything by minus 1. And that, of course, is one of the things they're testing for. So there's never traps in questions. They're just checking you've understood it. If I factorise this now, that's going to be x minus 5, x plus 2. 2 times minus 5 is minus 10, and minus 5 plus 2 is minus 3, and that is still less than 0. Then if I draw a quick sketch, always draw a sketch, it's just much safer. The key values are going to be minus 2, which are the roots of my quadratic, so minus 2 and 5. I want all values that are less than 0. In other words, I want my x to be between minus 2 and plus 5. I don't include those values because this here is a strict inequality. Therefore, I need to make sure my answer is a strict inequality as well. Question done. Next question, use factor theorem. So in this case, it very specifically tells you what to do. So use a factor theorem to show blah, blah, blah is a factor of f of x. So I'm going to say f of a third, in other words, the thing that makes this bracket equal to 0, is equal to. Now, because it's a show that question, you need to show that. So I'm going to do a third cubed plus 11 times a third squared plus 8 times a third minus 4. Now, again, it's a show that question, so I've shown I've sort of put the number in, I've substituted the value in. You don't need to do loads of work in the middle, but let's just write it out anyway. A third cubed is 1 over 27, so that's going to be 1 over 9. 11 times a third squared is the same as plus 11 over 9. 8 over 3 is the same as, well, let's just multiply that by 3, which is going to give me 24 over 9, and minus 4 times 9 is 36 over 9. And then you've got 1 plus 11, which is 12, plus 24 is 36, minus 36 is equal to 0. Write the conclusion. It's a show that question. So therefore, as f of a third is equal to 0 by factor theorem, and then you write the linear bracket, so 3x minus 1 is a factor of f of x. Question proven and shown with a conclusion. Next question. Oh, actually, next question continues. Factorize f of x fully. Now, a couple of days ago, I did one of these. So if you saw it a couple of days ago, definitely make sure you've tried this. We should be able to do this without any division. You want to divide, you want to do the long version, that's absolutely fine. I would suggest to you that we can definitely do this by looking at what we've got. So f of x, remember I'm back up here. So f of x is 3x cubed at the start. So what do I multiply 3x to get 3x cubed? I'll multiply it by x squared. Similarly, looking at the constants at the end, I've got minus 1 and I want it to be minus 4. So I'm going to multiply that by plus 4. Then the bit that's slightly trickier, I'm going to multiply 3x by 4 to give me 12x, but I only want 8x. So therefore, I'm going to have to take away 4x. So this minus 1, again, see what I'm doing. So I need this to give me the minus 4x, which means this here must be plus 4x, because minus 1 times 4x is minus 4x. However, it's a factorise fully, so I can factorise this further. So therefore, f of x is going to be equal to 3x minus 1, and this is x plus 2 all squared, so I'm just going to write this as x plus 2 all squared. Again, any order is fine as long as you factorise it down to those two linear brackets. Next question. And final question. Now, again, not a trick. It's not a trap. It's not trying to get you to get something to do something wrong, but it wants you to understand that when you take the square root of both sides, that tan theta can equal 2 or tan theta can equal minus 2. Now, because the tan graph, again, if you've watched any of these videos, you see me do many of these, being able to sketch the graph quickly is going to help you. Now, I know 2, again, it doesn't matter if I'm correct, but I know 2 is somewhere around there, so that's 2 solutions. And I know minus 2 is somewhere around here, so that is 2 solutions as well. Get your calculator out. So my calculator is in front of me, so inverse tan, so tan minus 1 of 2 is going to give me 63.4. So this is going to give me 63.4, and inverse tan of minus 2 is going to give me minus 63.4, perhaps unsurprisingly, because it's an odd function. And then what I'm going to do is basically just keep adding 180 until I've left the limits I'm looking for. So 63.4 plus 180 is going to give me 243.4. And minus 63.4 plus 180 is going to give me 116.6. Add 180 again is going to give me 296.6. Add 180 again will take me outside of the limits I care about. So in other words, the answer to the question is theta is equal to, you don't need to write them in order, but it's just quite nice for the examiner, 63.4, 116.6, 243.4, and 296.6. And that is question done. Again, I mean, I'm going to stop saying nice mix of questions, but good mix of questions again with the further maths. I would say not very difficult today, but definitely checking you understand all those individual little topics. As ever, do leave comments below. How did you do? Do like and subscribe to the channel. See the next one coming up tomorrow, and I'll see you for the next one. Thanks all. Bye.